A few months ago, I put a brand new set of golf clubs in my bag and they have been revolutionary for my game. I've definitely been playing better golf, I've definitely been getting up and down more, and I've actually holed quite a few shots around the greens.
Shot, stay there, go on.
So two of that. Thank you
Oh,
very much,
Eddie.
see you in a bit. That's why, Bobby. Hi everyone, my name's James and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about my rusty Vokey SM10 wedges. Now a lot of people wanted an update for these wedges. The video only came out a couple of weeks ago, but these have been in the bag a couple of months now and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a live update. I absolutely love these clubs. There's a very controversial club here which a few people didn't quite understand in the first video. So I got fitted for these wedges and we're going to talk just about what is controversial about them in a second, but we're going to start off with the gap wedge. I'll show you just exactly what I've been liking about them. So if you look on screen now, you'll see how these wedges looked when I got them out of the box just a couple of weeks ago, whereas this is how they look now. And I happen to think that that is an absolute thing of beauty. Now, yes, you do not get more spin with rusty wedges. I know that, Bobby knows that, everyone who comments on the video knows that. What you do get is anti-glare. So a day like today, we've waited for it to be sunny, that's why they've been in the bag a couple of months, you don't get the glare. So for instance here, when I look down at the ball, I don't have anything shiny looking back up at me. That's a huge thing for me. We don't play in the sun often, but when we do, it can be very off-putting, especially when you get into the higher lofted wedges, the 56, the 60, it can just shine up in your eyes and it can be very off-putting. Some people don't mind it, some people don't even notice it happens. I don't like it very much. So I really love the raw finish into the black shaft, and I really love the soft feel of these Vokeys as well, because I feel like I can play some really nice shots. I feel like with this 50 degree I can play shots like that where I kind of saw it off a little bit. I also know I have the versatility to be able to play a really low shot if I want to, where I get that ball back in the stands and play that kind of real stubby one again towards that flag. I know how these balls are going to react. I know that if I play that high cutty one that I hit the first time, it's going to stop quickly. It's even going to spin back a little bit for me. And I know if I play that low one, it's going to run out nicely. So it's important to know the different shots you can play, the different turf interactions that you can have. I'm going to replace that in a second. Don't worry, John, if you're watching. But also it's just nice to be able to play that really nice gap. I'm going to have to clean that. I hate this time of year, Bobby. But also, how good do they look when they're a little bit moist as well? Because like when they're dry, they look really rusty, but look at that. I think that looks really good. I love how it, obviously the rust wears away with the turf impact, so you don't really have a lot on the bottom, but then you really have it on the end there. So the SM10, the 60 degree is actually a wedge work, so it's a special edition, and that's the controversial one, which I'll talk you through. But from here, like 100 yards out, I feel like all I'm doing is swinging back to like 9 or 10 o'clock, and then allowing myself to pick the trajectory at will. So I've hit a mid-flighted one, a high one and a low one, all in 3 different shots, 3 different turf interactions, but with exactly the same club. So for me, it's important that I have the right loft here. I always go 50 on a gap wedge because usually if I'm going to miss a shot with a gap wedge, I end up short rather than long. So I thought those extra 2 degrees statically will help me get the dynamic loft I want to hit the shot I want to go the distance. Hopefully, like those 3 shots there. Just like that, Bobby. It's like we're never here, isn't it? Moving on. So looking where those gap wedges have finished, you can see we've had with a mid-flighted one that's landed there and kind of spun all the way back. The high one's landed really close, and just as you'd imagine with that landing angle, you're not going to get an infinite amount of spin back, and the low one, which pitched right at the front here, has released out nicely. Very happy with that. Then we get to the higher lofted wedges here, and like I said, this one, the K grind, the reason why it is so controversial is because it's a K grind, so it's a really big sole there, but it's a low bounce. So it's almost like a tour option, and that's why you look at the differences on them here. We have SM10 on the 56 and the 50, and then the Wedgeworks logo on the 60. That's like kind of a special order, but I really do feel like it's money well spent. I'll put on screen now some of the shots I've been playing with these, and I feel like the more rusty they've gone, the more confidence I've had. And we all know just how much short game is a confidence game. You have to be confident in what you're doing, and I really feel like these have helped me with it. So if I go 56 now and play you a couple of shots, again, I think I've chipped in 3 or 4 times with this wedge already. I used to chip in all the time, and it stopped for a brief spell. It stopped when I wasn't using Vokeys, which is interesting. What I really love about the 60 degree with that K-grind and low bounce is you look at somewhere like here, this is, it's, show 'em, Bobby. It's not the world's easiest shot, but I feel like I've got lots of different ways I can play this with that K-grind. So with a lob wedge I can play it square-faced, and I can just kind of nip it nice and low. It should have a little bit of check on it, and it can release out nicely. I can also play it where I open the face up a little bit more, and kind of have more of a full swing, and you can see there the kind of shots that I'm really enjoying. Now the key here is obviously practice, and it's also not being scared to play shots. If I would have bladed that one into the bunker face, it would have upset me because we're on camera, but it really wouldn't have bothered me too much because we're always learning. And I feel like this K-grind, just like I've duffed that one, I've literally hit 3 inches behind the ball on that one, and this is where so many golfers could save themselves shots just by getting a little bit of a different wedge, a little bit of a different mindset into shots like this, because I've got no right to keep playing these shots like I'm doing with these soft hands, because my short game at the start of the year was absolutely terrible. Wasn't as bad as Brett's, but it was terrible. So different options certainly just allow us to play different shots. But as you can see there, I would imagine, are they pretty much gimmies, Bobby? And you might think that this would be the wedge that I'd use once I'm in the bunker because it's got the K-grind and because that's going to act like a hydrofoil through the sand. But actually I quite like the 56 because the 56 gives me even more versatility. Watch this. So we'll hit a few with the 60 to start with, and then we'll move to the 56 because I feel like if you get closer to the lip, you obviously want as much loft as possible, open the face up and then utilise, although it's a low bounce, that K-grind really does help. So the key here is speed and loft, and just play shots where you really feel like you can cut it fine, as it were. That was really nice, wasn't it, that one? Can we go higher than that even with this K-grind? Yes, you can see a little bit higher, more dynamic loft, more speed. And as soon as I start to get into a rhythm, like say if the flag was further back there, that'd be a harder shot, but I feel like I can just square the face up a bit, give it more speed, and I can start to play lots and lots of different shots. So the K-grind for me has been, I'd say, revolutionary, but also if you're not quite confident, you know that's there for you. And even if you are a good bunker player, even if you are a really solid short game player, I also think that sometimes you just don't fancy a shot, and that's absolutely fine. So now if I go 56, this is where, if I'm feeling confident over a shot, I'll go 56 because I feel like I can actually get this even higher. And that might not make a lot of sense to a lot of people, but basically the more you open this face up, the more you introduce the bounce of the sole. So if I sit this 56 in the sand and really open it up, I've got more bounce and camber underneath that wedge. So that allows me to be more attacking at it and probably get away with a little bit more and play shots like that. I mean, as an attacking shot, to have that much speed through the ball, I feel like these wedges have really helped. Can we go higher than that? Come on, come back. How is that not coming back? Can we have a word for how good a condition this golf course is in, by the way? And the good thing is, I could do this all day and not get bored. I absolutely love being in this scenario. I love these wedges. That's why I'm doing a follow-up video on it, because a few people in the comments said give us a follow-up when they've gone rusty. Has the performance changed? Like, no, spin rate hasn't changed, launch angle hasn't changed. There's no physical alteration to the impact factors, but there's an alteration to my mindset. And yes, I did put them outside in the garden to get them to go rusty, because that's what you do. But really, I think the happier you are with your wedges, the happier you are with your short game, and the happier you are with your scores. I'm really upset with that one though. That one's going to take some getting back on the old rust, isn't it? Guys, if you enjoyed that, smash that subscribe button below and go and check out the Vokey website and see what you would have, because I feel like the rusty combination of, well, the rusty head and the black shaft, I think looks gorgeous. It's filled me with confidence, and I'm playing some of the best golf for years around the greens anyway. Maybe I need a rusty driver, Bobby. Can I get one of them?